Hello everyone, my name is Katia Vaillancourt. I am a third-year student here at Gavilan College and just participated in the San Jose State internship. Now, for our internship, we were mentored by Dr. Lee in the Mechanical Engineering Department at San Jose State. And we were focusing on analyzing solar fenestration and shading design strategies for limiting energy usage in a net zero home. Now, for background, accessing electrical energy in California is increasingly challenging for low-income households due to highest and rising electricity rates in the U.S. With residential use accounting for a large portion of the statewide consumption, improving energy efficiency is essential for both cost-saving and environmental impact. This study explores building design strategies to reduce energy demand, focusing on the impact of window size, placement, and orientation, on solar heat gain, and the effectiveness of shading devices in regulating indoor temperature. It also evaluates how solar panel tilt and orientation affect solar energy absorption. The goal is to inform the design of affordable, energy-efficient homes that lower utility for income communities. Now, for this project, we did have 3 different objectives, one involving solar, one involving window orientation, and one involving window overhang and space/placement of the window. Now, these 3 objectives were split up between the 3 students that were working. For the first objective, analyzing how the daily average solar irradiation varies with respect to the solar panel tilt and orientation. We had Min working on that. For the second objective, determining the optimal window orientation and size for energy efficiency, was Kayla working on that. And for the third objective, optimizing roof overhang and window placement for winter performance, that would be me working on that objective. Now, for the significance of these objectives, high energy costs burden low-income California households, and optimizing solar and reducing cooling and heating demand can lower utility bills and support equitable access to sustainable housing, which is very important, especially here in San Jose State, or San Jose City surrounding San Jose State, where housing is becoming increasingly expensive, as well as summers are getting hotter due to global warming and more AC is needing to be used. So this lowering of utility bills could really help the population here. Now, for results up here in figure 1 would be the results of objective 1. Now, this graph illustrates the daily average of solar irradiation levels and how they vary with solar panel tilt and orientation. And here you can see the maximum solar irradiation is circled here up at the top. Now, for figure 2, this would be relating to my objective, objective 3, and it is the KV metric, which is a metric that was named after me, which we came up with to maximize the winter effect and minimize the summer effect, because for this experiment we were more interested in trying to lower the amount of heating we used in the winter. So we would try to create an overhang that allows the summer sun into a window in the winter, but tries to block the summer sun that is allowed into the window. So we weighted the average percent of summer shading, and we left the average percent of winter shading as it is. Now, this graph is specifically for a 2-foot window, showing how the overhang length and window placement affect the balance between winter and solar gain and summer shading. Now, the warm colors indicate better winter-focused performance, and here you can see we maximized, and the highest KV value is at 2 feet space, 2.5 feet space above the window, and that would be 2 foot length of overhang. Now, here for figure 3, this relates to objective 2, and it is, the graph illustrates that the number of window panes reduced annual heating, energy use, Single pane windows used the most energy, while triple pane windows used the least. Now here in figure 4, this also relates to objective 2. The graph illustrates that window orientation affects annual heating energy use. The highest heating demand occurred with north-facing window, while south-facing orientation required the least. As we continue down here to materials and methods, figure 5 relates to objective 2, and the table demonstrates a few of the tests conducted to determine optimal window orientation and pane. Now for figure 6, this relates to objective 1. The model is used to analyze how the tilt angle of a solar panel affects the amount of solar irradiation it absorbs. And now for objective 3, this figure 7 relates to this objective, and it is a side view showing overhang, window placement, and summer-winter sun paths used to calculate shading and KV metric. Here for mine you can see the overhang length, that was a variable, as well as the space above the window, that was a variable. The window in this diagram is this little blue box, and you can see how the winter sun path is a lot lower than this upper sun path, which is for summer, and so it really does, the overhang does depend on which you're trying to maximize, whether that be lowering the amount of AC you use in the summer or lowering the amount of heating you use in the winter. Now for the challenges we faced, I definitely faced some challenges for winter weighted performance, which led to higher summer heat in some high scoring designs exceeding ideal levels. So here you can see this is one of the resources I used to calculate my KV metric. Now here, this on this side we go from January to December for months, and it goes across, and then up here at the top we have time of day. So here we have morning and here we have evening. Now these boxes represent percent shading you get, and you can see up here, the lighter the box, the lower the percent shading. So in the winter we have a really low percent shading, it's almost white, but here in the middle during the summer months, it is still a very light gray color for the percent shading we have. So it is not super effective in the summer, where we will have to run AC if we use this design, but we were maximizing for winter performance, and it performs very well in the winter, allowing for a lot of natural solar heat to come in. Now, a challenge Kayla occurred with Objective 2 was accurately modeling window orientation in Energy Plus. It was time consuming, required precise inputs and careful data filtering to get reliable results. Now for our conclusions, the optimal solar gain occurs at south-facing orientation with a tilt angle near 37%, which is what your solar panels should be tilted at. And for a 2-foot window, an overhang of 2 feet with a 2.5-foot space above maximizes winter gain while keeping adequate summer shade. Although, like I stated before, we still will need to use AC. Now, for our third conclusion, the highest solar gain was achieved with a southwest-facing triple pane window. And that was our project and what we concluded, as well as our materials and methods, the challenges we faced, the results, and all that. So thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your evening.